Hey, welcome to Mullen Stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. Now let's start. So today I want to give you a quick pre-market update on Mullen. Go over some of the data points, go over the good, the bad, and the ugly everything that is floating around right now. So I'm going to go over all that. So pre-market it looks like it is down 6.05%. It is fair to assume that today there is going to be another new 52-week and all-time low, and it is breaking below this 69-cent mark, the very big support of this S1. So it is fair to assume that it might land at that 64 cent. So of course that's something that you need to kind of just be aware of. That potentially it could hit that 64, and if it does break that, then anticipate 56. And as of right now at the time of doing this video, there is no SEC filings, no press releases, nothing along those lines. So it is right now just a lot of investors kind of looking and digesting still the whole dilution from the SEC filing yesterday. And of course, I think a lot of people knew that David was issuing preferred stock, but they didn't really grasp the magnitude, how damaging it truly is behind the scenes, especially considering the warrants are exercisable at 185%. It's just very, very damaging, and unfortunately, there is more dilution coming. So I think a lot of people are starting to see that. And of course, we already do know that based on yesterday's PR, there was only 20 million from Aquitas. This one upcoming on June the 12th is 45 million. So once again, I think this is and has been a little bit more of an eye-opening experience for Mullen investors. So in reality, I think this is just hurting the sentiment a little bit more. And over and above that, just the lack of news both from Lawrence and from David, because still we were anticipating this time last week to be very, very rich from Saudi news. And unfortunately, if anything, I think, since then it's gone down maybe 20%, maybe more. So once again, that's definitely not necessarily the best thing. But still, this is where we are at. At the end of the day, though, make sure you guys always do your own due diligence, because I am not a financial advisor. All I'm doing is laying out the facts for you guys, digest what you will. So of course, like I said, that is a little bit more of a negative when it comes down to shorts. They're very much there to take advantage of all of this gray and this fear. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of what they are doing right now. So short score is currently 83. Utilization is at 100%, and currently it looks like they are increasing only 16,000 shares pre-market, so not too much. Ortext did update their information, so it is officially 19.85%. And that is with the new things, 218 or 214 million outstanding shares. But still, overall 41.44 million shares technically are being shorted. Still, once again on the threshold list, cost to borrow average is going up slightly today, so 219.72%. So again, that's something just to kind of keep in mind. But still, at the end of the day, shorts are very much able to take advantage of all of this gray. There was a positive thing that did come out yesterday. So of course we already know that they are in a lot of expos and showcasing the M1 and M3 and various things like that. It does look like someone, so Robert did actually attend that, and he did say, and I guess heard, both the van and the M3 or the Class 3 vehicle is going to be starting production in July. So the van is a new thing that maybe David is actually sitting on behind the scenes, and that was their bigger plan, just to surprise people that the M1 is actually going to be starting production. Who knows at this stage, this is not confirmed. As of right now, the only thing we do know is the Class 3 is starting production, and that they've hired obviously the NRTC and a lot of other things just to ensure that does get done. But we haven't really heard anything about the van, so this one is a little bit more speculation. But if true, I think this might be a fairly positive thing for Mullen, because as I said in the past, I do feel that the M1, based on the price point and everything like that, could actually be very good. There's a lot of good demand for it behind the scenes. So again, that's a little bit more of a positive to kind of counter, maybe the massive amount of negative sentiment. So once again, not here to say it is or isn't a buy, because based on the technicals, it is in still that death spiral mode. So I do feel that technically, just based on that, and assuming there is no additional news that does come out, it is going to continue to trend down. So most likely around to that 50-cent mark or 56-cent mark, especially because of it breaking that 69-cent mark. So this S1 right here, some points that you really need to watch for going forward is at 64, and of course then at 56. So that's the support levels right here. So once again, it's not necessarily the best for any investor. There's a lot of articles coming out as well talking about bankruptcy for Mullen. And of course, there was a very good Twitter space called yesterday. Because in reality, there was a lot of good things that was said there, and it's more of an eye-opening experience. Like I mentioned, because of the whole SEC filing yesterday, I think a lot of people are starting to realize how damaging a lot of things are, and for instance, how much Mullen is burning through money. And just based on my calculations and my experience with Lucid, and covering them for a while and looking at their balance sheet, I do estimate that they need at least around 80 million. That's for production or reassembly, if you want to call it that, for this upcoming July for the M3. So they do need a lot of money. As of right now, the only thing that we do know, that was I think in April the 12th or 14th, they had 116 million at that stage. And of course, based on last quarterly earnings, they are burning through roughly around 44 million a quarter, just based on salaries alone. So definitely a lot of this dilution that has been happening. So the 20 million from Aquitas, and possibly the 45 million from the many other insiders that definitely is going to ensure that they do start production, but still it's going to be very damaging. This is one of those things that can be seen as more of a payday loan. It gives you good money up front, which of course you can use for good things, but you need to ensure you actually follow through because a lot of this is very, very damaging down the line and you're actually paying tenfold ultimately. So once again, that's kind of where we are at. Just stuck in limbo, still waiting news from either Lawrence, David, someone, anyone. So we're kind of stuck there, unfortunately. But once again, as I've said in the past, if you do truly believe in Mullen bigger picture, that they're going to do big things, then take advantage of these discounted prices. Because usually the age-old saying, buy when there is blood, is sometimes true. But of course, you can't neglect any negatives. You have to digest absolutely everything that Mullen could potentially do, and obviously the risks, and make your own decision at the end of the day. So once again, let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below. Do you think that there is still going to be Saudi news coming down the pipeline? I do see some rumblings and some chat about potential takeovers. Maybe I'll do a video briefly on that, if there is any validity to any of that, and if so, potentially, who might be wanting to take over Mullen or acquire it. Because typically, when it comes down to any business, once a stock does get completely slammed, or just a business is suffering, that's usually when it might be a good takeover opportunity. And currently right now, Mullen's market cap is only 120.24 million, which is very, very low. And like I said, some people have invested a lot more than that, or some companies have invested more than that physical amount just on technology. So for instance, if Lawrence's technology is true and sound, and as is maybe Mullen's battery technology, this might be a good opportunity for a takeover from someone. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about Mullen stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.